is only brewing further. Sanjay Khanna is also joining me live on the broadcast, and at this point of time, viewers, it is important to see how does the first action, the first big response by Iran looks like, even after there are big threats and the warnings that have in the first and the foremost placed by the United States President Donald Trump issued. Now, even after US saying that it is not aiming for a regime change in Iran, Iran continues to defend its action and also further threaten of targeting the US citizens. Now, Mr. Sanjay Khanna joins me live on the broadcast. Sir, appreciate your presence. How do you look at these developments? The first big question remains to be, of course, understanding what are you potentially expecting for Iran to respond like?
Okay, first of all, I'd like to make a little correction. My name is Brigadier Sanjay Khanna, and I'm a retired brigadier from the Indian Army. Before we move on to the question that you asked, I'd like to give a little prelude for the viewers, because very surprisingly that in 1950s, with the American help, the Iranian nuclear program had commenced. And today it is the Americans themselves who are hell-bent on destroying it. So in 1950, with the US assistance, the establishment of the nuclear apparatus in Iran started. And it was expanded in 1970. However, when the Iranian Revolution took place in 1979, that's the time of a kind of a halt or a pause was given. But then in 1980, with the help of the North Koreans and the Pakistanis, with their help, Iran started a clandestine building up of its resources. And in 1990, it was able to develop a full nuclear cycle for the uranium, so as to use it for peaceful purposes. Now, Natanz it came up in 2009. It was clandestine operation which not to anybody. However, the IAEA found out, and that is how, over the years sanctions have been put on the on Iran. Now, as regards the operation which has taken place yesterday, or you may call it today, B-2 bombers of the United States Air Force moved into Iran airspace, which had already been sanitized by the Israelis for the Americans. As you would have heard, that the American president had made a statement that the Iranian airspace is our airspace. We have absolutely conquered it, because from the beginning of this conflict, Iranian Air Force has hardly had any role to play other than using their missiles. That's about all. So the Americans decided that this was the time that they need to go in, and they went in with B-2 bombers, which have the GBU-57 bombs, which are also called bunker busting bombs, which have a capability of going into a heavily fortified concrete up to 200 feet. Now, this Fordo is it's defended very nicely, and it has been fortified up till 300 feet below the ground, where the all the process of enrichment of uranium was taking place. So the Americans used these bunker bursting bombs in tandem. They had fired from the B-2 bombers the first bomb. After a little while, the second bomb went in. So as of now, the extent of damage is not very clear as to how much, because no assessment can be made as of now. But the American president has made a statement that they have been able to absolutely destroy Fordo. As regards Natanz and Ifsan, the other two nuclear sites, there the Americans have used Tomahawk cruise missile systems. In their appreciation, they felt that by using these two, by using Tomahawk cruise missile systems, they would be able to give adequate damage to those sites. Now, you had asked about the response of the Iranians to this whole episode. Well, Iranians have to think a lot, because now that America has come into the war, Iranians will have to think as to how to go about it, because if they start targeting the American bases in the Middle East, then America will come down very heavily, very heavily on Iran, and Iran, despite its determination, will not be able to match the American firepower. As is happening in Ukraine. As you are aware, even in Ukraine, it is the Russians who are overwhelming with their military superiority. And in the same way here, only thing is there will be no foots on ground as of now. Maybe at a later time frame. That's my assessment, that special forces of the Israeli army, IDF, as well as the American SEALs may be utilized there. For what purpose? Right now I cannot say, but that's my thought process, that at some point in time,
all right. Brigadier Sanjay Khanna, thank you very much, and I apologize for not being able to understand about the designation, and thank you very much for being with us. I'll request your patience to be with us in the upcoming details that we are tracking very closely, while also